Hey guys, how's it going? Today's gonna be a lengthy one here. So, again, have to preface, I know Street Fighter V is about to be thrown by the wayside, but there's still a lot of players who play this game, a lot of up-and-coming players who are trying to improve, and there's less and less videos out there about in-game knowledge, especially in the most recent season. So I just wanted to, and here's what I'm gonna say. And I think I should just start pointing this out, man. So, I'm a Grandmaster Ken, right? I say that a lot. I always like to preference like my rank just so people get an idea roughly around the skill level that I'm at. But I tend to play certain matchups more unorthodox. I tend to be a lot of people call me crazy. Some people might just straight up call me stupid, right? But I search for things that work, and I just try to optimize those things and go from there. So, essentially, I'm going to go through the Alex matchup and how I try to play this, right? We'll go through a few things here, whatever I feel is most relevant, and we'll just go from there. So I guess the first thing that I wanted to mention here is going to be Alex's crouch medium punch. So the reason I'm starting with this is because this is how Alex players will oftentimes get you to start blocking more so they can run their offense, right? This can be a very annoying button. The active frames, the priority, that type of stuff. It'll have you feeling very frustrated. It has very good range. It feels like it beats a lot of your buttons. And so a lot of Alex players will abuse this. Hell, you can even use it as an anti-air almost, right? Hold on. Never mind. Maybe not. Maybe we're not going to focus on that aspect. I just wanted to try it out. Because I feel like I do get anti-air by this a lot myself. So it's just the timing of it. Either way, so how do you deal with this button? How I like to deal with it is I'm going to give you two main routes that I go. And surprisingly enough, it's going to be your own crouch medium punch that's going to beat this. A lot of Alex players, they'll try to walk up and do this crap. They'll try to walk up, do crouch medium punch, walk up, bam, you know, that type of stuff. So you essentially want to whiff punish it with your own crouch medium punch. The most reliable option at range is going to be into EX Tatsu. But you can also do medium kick Tatsu. But medium kick Tatsu, you can also do like back medium punch if you want to be stupid. Right? But I don't really go for that much, right? So that's basically what you want to go for. So kind of wiggle around this range and whiff punish it with your own crouch medium punch. And the other thing is, and I'm just gonna go through this video at my own pace, so I'm just gonna be talking and shit like that. So the other thing, and I mentioned this in my previous video about V Trigger 2, right? So you'll see I have V Skill 2 and V Trigger 2 as my combination for Alex, and I've been finding that I like this combo a lot more. When it comes to, I've been noticing that I've been basing my V Trigger and V Skill usage based on the defensive options of the character that I'm playing against, and you know, that's really what I've been thinking a lot of. And I've been noticing more and more in particular matchups that you might not consider this combination for, that it's actually really effective. And Alex is one of those matchups. I find in situations where I like to go for certain combos and punishes that the V-skill, V-trigger combination actually ends up working very nicely. So another option for this is going to be V-trigger 2. And you can instant react to that. Look at the range. And you'll see he's holding crouch block like instantly, right? So, I mean, this is another option that you can use to whip butter that button. So, that's going to be that. So yeah, playing around this range is going to be pretty good. The other thing I want to address is going to be Alex's chop. So obviously in this matchup, you have the advantage of a fireball. Alex does not. And you see, right, like around this range, like Alex will be able to stuff your fireballs. The way it plays out in a match a lot of times, more out because I'm playing against a dummy that's on autopilot, right? But Alex players will oftentimes just like be throwing that shit out around this range to prevent the mid-range fireball, right? So obviously you want to stand outside this range when you're throwing fireballs. So you see right there, that's a prime example right there. You see? And he can even completely negate it and still counter hit you. So throw your fireballs at an optimal range around here, and that way you'll be able to effectively pressure Alex. Because one of the biggest things that I've noticed about good Alex players is that good Alex players are very patient, and they're also they have great reactions to things like this. So chop is going to be one of those things you definitely want to avoid, and make sure that when you're throwing fireballs, you're staggering, and every time you throw a fireball, I want you to buffer a DP input. And I like to mix things up, so I'll throw fireballs, I'll buffer DP while I'm throwing the fireball, and essentially, you know, I want to get Alex players frustrated with the fireball, and I want to take away their options of dealing with the zoning game. So don't underestimate Ken's ability to zone, okay? Like seriously, the Ken's fireball is good enough, okay? It's not amazing, but it's definitely good enough. So so stay outside the range of chop, okay? That way you can and actually, like, when you notice that Alex players start doing chop, you know, time your fireballs to go in between their animations. You know, that way you can really throw them off, and you get your little 10 damage too. Just keep that in mind. You get 10 damage every time they block a fireball. It's not chip damage, it's damage. So that's the thing. And the other thing is, let's see. I gotta figure out how to record this. How do you, not that one. I think it's, oh, it's a charge move, isn't it? There we go, yep. That's what I want to do. Bear with me here. You can tell I don't play Alex, right? So that's what I wanted to record right there. Because a lot of Alex players will rely on that to get them through. So you want to bait it out. You can DP that. Look at that. Don't be intimidated by that shit. I'm just showing that to show that you can actually beat that. And that's usually what I'll do. I'll feint and I'll DP that. And then you want to start getting optimal with the shit. You know. And this is one of the reasons why This is one of the reasons why I like to run this V-trigger against Alex. So you see there, like taking away one of his only options to deal what is arguably one of his best options to get him in, right? So that's what I'm talking about right there. So when you start running your fireball game versus Alex, the Alex players are going to start thinking of ways they can get in, right? So if you can negate chop by staying outside the range of chop and staggering your fireball pressure, the next thing Alex players are going to try to do is probably start to look for an aerial approach because Alex has good aerial approaches. But if you stuff that, then you're really going to start to frustrate them. So not only can you DP that shit, you know, honestly, I like to go for this option right here. Because sometimes you don't know where it's going to land specifically. So I like to do like neutral jump cross up. Because that shit will happen sometimes. You see that? He landed in front of him and it still hit cross up. So, well, if you're going to neutral jump that, I like to do cross up. That way you can do that. So mix up your options. Neutral jumps versus a lot of Alex players. Don't abuse it though. Like I like to just sprinkle them in. And that's the thing. Like don't make your counter options so predictable, right? That's the thing. So yeah, basically, you can mix up to punish the EX stop between DP. You can optimize your DP. You know, it's a V-trigger cancels. So yeah, basically where we're at right now, stuffing Alex's medium punch with your own medium punch. And a lot of times, I'll tell you what, man, because Alex, besides when he's in V-trigger, I don't believe Alex can get much off that medium punch besides using it as an annoying poke, right? But when he's in V-trigger, he can combo it. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, a lot of times, what I'll be doing, because I know Alex players want to throw that dumb shit, right? Because it's annoying as hell. I'll just be buffering my own damn medium punch. Like literally, just to be a jackass, like I'll just sit here, like that. Like that's literally how it will often play out in a match, just like that. You see what I mean? Like that's literally how oftentimes, like you don't, and I will just say, like, if they start, like, whip punishing my ass for doing stupid shit like this, I adapt to that, right? Like, if you want to play it safe, just, like, raw react to the whip, So, but yeah, so we're stuffing that. We're keeping our fireball around this range, right? And we're not letting chop become a viable option. And we want to make the Alex player waste meter and take risks. So, I will say though, taking into account the stomp, right? You also want to be aware that Alex players can, as much as you can DP that on reaction, right? And it looks so sick, right, when you do it. So, you also have to keep in mind that Alex players can do the little stomp where they only go like 2 feet in front of him, right? So he's doing the long range stomp now, but Alex players can also bait out the DP by doing a short range stomp. And I will say, man, I think more Alex players need to include the short range stomp into their arsenal, because a lot of them get so heavily caught up in doing the EX stomp that they forget they can bait out a DP with the short stomp. So just be aware that if they're scouting out the DP, they can they can also do the short range stomp, you know? So, but yeah, basically you want to stuff the EX stomp with the DP, right? Or you can try to neutral jump it if you're not super confident in your DPs, but definitely be working on the DP, right? Because that'll shock a lot of Alex players. Like if you can react to the EX stomp with the DP, that's gonna be solid, right? And that's gonna be definitely a pretty good way to go. That way you don't risk a neutral jump, because the neutral jump, as much as it might blow up the EX stomp, a good Alex player will also try to bait the neutral jump and do something like that EX elbow, right, to fuck up your neutral jump, right? Or they might just dash up and do a regular old crouch heavy punch anti-air, right, into a combo. So you gotta be careful about the neutral jump. DP is gonna be the more safe and reliable option if you're reacting to that. So, but just be aware, you want to mix up your options, you know, and that's gonna be key so you don't become too predictable. And now what I want to do is going to be talking about corner pressure. So let me see here. So with corner pressure with Alex players, this is one of the reasons that I also like using this V-trigger and V-skill combination. So one of the things about Alex players and a lot of other characters is that if they don't have an invincible reversal on their wake up, they're more susceptible to this kind of thing because they'll become more reliant on other defensive options. So one of the things that I like to do is because a lot of Alex players will start to incorporate things like delay tech into their defensive options, right? Because they don't want to be thrown. And Ken has ridiculous throw pressure, and this is something like you have to be able to exploit, right? You have to be able to don't be afraid to grab people with Ken. Like I'm thinking about changing my CFN tag to knees to the face, right? Because that's how much I like grabbing. So we'll see if that actually happens, if I want to spend another 10 bucks there. But anyways, a lot of Alex players will become overly reliant on teching, right? And so what you can do... Hold up. Oh yeah, I have them all. That shit right there, man. I fucked up my critical art. And a lot of times I'll do jab shimmies, right, to bait out that right there, to bait out the tech, the throw. So this is one of the reasons why I like this V-skill. Okay, let me see what else. So the other thing is V-shift. This V-skill will blow up Alex's V-shift. A lot of times when Alex players start to understand that they can't really tech because they're getting blown up with this stupid shit, and I can be annoying. I mean, I tell you, man, ask anybody who plays me about this shit right here that I do to people, and they'll tell you how annoying I can be with this shit. Because this is a mind game right here. This is a legit mind game. This combo right here is a legit mind game. So here's what happens. So I've already explained. This can blow up tech on wake up. It can blow up delayed buttons on wake up. It can blow up V-shift on wake up. I think neutral jump beats this on wake up. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so they can neutral jump that on wake up, right? If they time it right. So if I do it precisely on their wake up, they can neutral jump it. See? And they can blow the fuck out of that up. So just be aware of that option as well. This is why you gotta mix up your options. But so I'll basically like assess what Alex players are doing. I'll start off with the throw, like see if they're teching. If they're neutral dropping, if I see they're neutral dropping, start DPing them. Right? Start going into shit like that, right? So just be aware of the options with the corner pressure against Alex players. So that is an option if you want to try to go the route that I'm going with my V skill, right? And using this as a pressure tool because it is a very effective pressure tool. You will oftentimes get a counter hit state on their wake up when you hit this, and you can get shit like this very often. So that's the thing. And once you, and this is where like the mind games begin, right? Because once they understand that they can't start teching, then you can start throwing more. And then when they realize that their defensive options are running thin, they're going to start getting desperate and they're going to start pressing more buttons. I mean, this happens so often when I'm playing Alex players. I guess the most threatening thing that an Alex player can do on their wake up is simply block and wait for their opportunity. Because besides that, you know, it's like Ken's world in here versus Alex. If you get an Alex player in the corner, like this is your bread and butter right here in terms of taking the match. So this right here, and just keep in mind you can get that off a single like. One of the lower level activation routes. You can still get critical art after the fact, right? And yeah, so the other thing is with Alex players in the corner here. So yeah, I was gonna expound more on like why I like using this right here. So what happened? And here's where I start to get a little crazy, right? Let me see here. Because a lot of Alex players will throw that shit out, right? Oh, yeah. And that's where I start getting nutty. Okay, this is where people will start to call me stupid. But you can react to the button, right? So here's what will start happening. So they can beat that, right? If they do. And this is the option that a lot of Alex players will start to go for once I start doing this crap and I notice they start doing that right there. Here's what I'll do. Wait. So I'm going for stupid. But here's what I really do. Shit like that, right? Start blowing up. Like, if you get somebody with that, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what am I supposed to do at this point, right? Because you can buffer the heavy punch DP input, right? And then that's where the mind game really begins. Because if they feel like they cannot press after this, they're gonna hold this. They're gonna hold this, right? And then they're gonna be more inclined to block. And what can you do when they're more inclined to block? This shit. Hell yeah, buddy. You feel me though? Look at that juicy damage right there. Sick ass combo, right? But yeah, so this is one of the things that I like to do to people. So I like to see how they respond to this, right? Do they start pressing? Do they start pressing? I start doing that, then I start pressuring more. Okay, see what their options are. Oh, you're jumping in the corner? Oh, okay, you're doing that crap. You want to keep doing it? Like, I'm just kind of being stupid right now, but you get the idea. It's like, oh, crazy stuff, man. But that's basically going to be corner pressure. So again, just to reiterate, I'm trying to keep things a little bit more organized here, right? I like to establish throw pressure to see how they respond to throws, okay? Then once you establish throw pressure, you don't always have to be like so automated about it, but just experiment. Like sometimes I'll decide to go for meaties just to see if I have a feeling they're gonna be pressing on wake up, or if it's somebody that I play often, you know, I might go for different options on wake up. But a lot of times, more often than not, I want to see how they respond to throws, right? Because everybody has a throw habit, you know? So how you respond to throws is going to tell me a ton about you. And it's going to tell me how I can open you up. Do you delay tech a throw? Do you take a throw? Do you instant tech throws, right? Like what other options do you go for on your wake up? Do you like to go for V shift on wake up to avoid anything? Like if they go for V shift on wake up, the hell? There we go. Like if they go for V shift on wake up, just keep in mind, like, Ken's options for V-Shift tend to be pretty universal across the cast. But again, this is one of the reasons why I also like the V-Skill here. Because it covers different options, right? So you don't have to, like, it takes some of the guesswork out of establishing damage on Wake Up. Because if I know I can just do this and beat a V-Shift and a throw tech, like, I'm gonna do this, you know? Even though it's -2 on block, like, I ain't worried about that shit. Like, you can more often than not just delay tech to cover the throw, right? So, let me see here. You see? Like, delay tech beats the throw. If you wanna get retarded, this is where I get retarded too, man. This is where I get really stupid myself. So, like, if I do this, and I know they want to press, like, a lot of times, hey man, don't discount any option. You know, -2. When you have EXDP, EXDP is a valid option. But what I say in situations like this is don't abuse the EXDP, because it's a risk like anything else. So what I like to do is I'll throw this out. I'll see if they start pressing. Like, I'll delay tech after the fact to defend against the throw. It's crap like that. What I don't recommend if you do this is just straight up walking back. Try to get away from them. That can be very tempting, but I think the delay tech is probably the stronger option here. So, or you can just block if you notice that they like to press like actual buttons instead of just like trying to throw you after the fact. So yeah, that right there is that's how you basically defend if they're trying to come after you on block. And then the EXDP. Like, if you notice they're pressing every time after this, right? If they're pressing something, that's when I like to start sprinkling that shit in. And I'll also look at my health bar to see whether or not the risk is gonna be worth it, right? So if I notice that they're like one hit away and I still have over 2/3 of my health left, you know, I might risk a DP. If I notice they've been pressing a lot during this shit, you know, if it's gonna win me the match type shit, right? I'll do a DP. If it's the beginning of the match and I know they like to press after this, you know, I'll do the DP, right? And if you notice they like to throw every time after it, you might not even have to risk the actual EX DP. You can save your meter and do light punch DP, right? It just depends on what option you see that they're scouting after the -2. Because light punch DP, keep in mind, this is throw invincible. So I don't discount risky options. You just have to be smart about using them, right? Be smart about using them. And for anybody who wants to say, like, oh, it's dumb as shit, you would never catch me with that type of shit, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I'm gonna tell you to look at. Like, this shit that I do, like, I find the way. I find the way, okay? So, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the V-Skill 2 in this matchup here. So, I'm gonna wake up, it blows that up, you can go to this shit, and, so, I mean, you got some very hefty combo routes that you can get off a single counter hit of V-Skill. And when you're point blank, I mean, it's +4. Wow, why's my life exhaustive not coming out? That thing is coming out like hella late, bro. Oh no, that did combo. I didn't get my critical off, but you get the idea. Like, you can see, like, we're going into 300s, 400s, and the thing I'll say, it's like, you know how I was talking about this little mind game here. Like, a lot of people know they can press after this, right? But when you start screwing with them bad enough, you're gonna notice, like, you're gonna get a lot of crush counters. And you're gonna be building V-meter like crazy. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I build V-meter, like full V-trigger with V-trigger 2 off of some corner pressure and off my target combos when I have like full health in the match. Like, you know how much of a threat that is? And I'll tell you another reason, I guess, to expound. So we're talking about corner pressure a lot. Now I'm going to expound on this V-trigger specifically, right? So obviously you've seen that the damage potential is very strong. But what's one of the other things about this V-trigger in this matchup that I prefer over something like V-trigger 1? Well, when you look at, again, the defensive options, a lot of times when you're using V-trigger 1 versus a character like Alex, his V-trigger 1, a lot of you, me included, will be tempted to activate on block. And when you activate on block, you know, you might get like a pressure string, right? They might press a button, right? But a lot of times, what I've noticed against a good Alex player is your pressure with V-trigger 1 will be negated pretty fast. And so V-trigger 2 allows you to actually get a confirm, like a simple confirm into knockdowns, into potentially a lot of momentum during the match. It'll give you more corner carry. And you get multiple activations, right? And that's a big thing for me. Because with V-trigger 1, you basically get one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted during this match, right? And during each game, you basically get one shot with your V-trigger to try to get something going. With V-trigger 2, you get at least 2, right? At least 2 opportunities. And the other thing is, keep in mind that you get multiple activations, right? And a lot of times what I'll end up doing is I'll use the primary activation. I won't fully expend it on the initial activation, right? I'll do the single one, get a little bit of damage, right? But the thing you have to keep in mind is that you get Oki off of it, right? And that's huge. That's huge. To do that, you know, get a whip punch for something like I could crouch medium kick. You know, so I mean, the fact that it's confirm based is huge. If you're somebody who's more adept at using playing footsies, right? If you're fishing and you're good at confirms, getting some shit like that off a single hit is enormous, right? That's huge. That's huge. And I mean, if it's like a, you know, a game-winning situation, again, just look at this. And the fact that you get this, you can get that, like, that opportunity more than once during the match. That's almost 500 damage right there, bro. Like, look at that crap. I can't tell you how many Alex players I kill with something like that, just because I don't have to rely on, like, yes, you can confirm into V-Trigger 1, but it's just not the same because you basically get one opportunity to confirm into it, right, during the match. And then the rest of it is going to be like, well, you know, let's see if I can score a hit. And the combo routes, and this is going to sound brain dead, but it is what it is. You know, you have to think a lot harder about your combo routes when you're using V-Trigger 1 in terms of trying to get things off a single hit, right? Versus with this, I can literally just, like, my crouch medium kick is going to be so strong, right? Like, this V-Trigger just made my crouch medium kick one of the deadliest tools in this game, right? Because of the momentum that I can get when I activate into this. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer to use this V-Trigger and why I'm starting to prefer it a lot in a lot of different matchups, which I'll expound into in different matchups later on. So because of the fact that it's so easy to confirm, and like here's what I'm gonna say about this, like because now we're gonna get into kind of more general stuff beyond Alex, right? When you're trying to confirm into this V-Trigger, try not to do the fireball. So the fireball, oftentimes, when you're like at max range, it may not, like if they're pressing buttons and you catch a button and you try to do it into fireball, a lot of times it can be pretty inconsistent. So what I found to be more consistent is simply doing that activation route off the medium kick itself. It's very tempting, and I guess if you're gonna go for a fireball, maybe try to spend some meter and go EX. That way you increase your chances of actually getting the link into the V-Trigger, because this into fireball at range can be very disheartening when you don't get your confirm and you activate into this and you're a sitting duck and you get your ass kicked because of that. So that's basically what I'm going to tell you, is seek this, right? Or maybe some potentially other option, but a lot of times, though, also keep in mind your combo routes off of your target combos, right? So, and I guess there's going to be one more thing that I want to talk about, and that's like pushing offense like mid-screen, right? So we've talked about Alex's chop. We've talked about Alex's crouch medium punch, right? So, and of course, Alex does have other options. So, Alex's anti-air is crouch heavy punch. Sorry, my brain's like all over the place now. So, his crouch heavy punch is going to be like his main go-to anti-air, right? Let's see here. Hold on. So it's pretty good, but you can juke it. So here's the way that'll actually play out oftentimes. So you see, like, if they're good with it, they can definitely stuff your dive kick. And the reason I'm talking about the dive kick is because I like to use the dive kick a lot. as a means to get in versus Alex. Besides, like, if I get a whiff punish off his crouch medium punch, or if I just happen to be playing footsies and I score a hit, right? If I score a hit, whatever, I'm in, right? But I guess the aerial approach to things, because of that button, oftentimes I'll like to use my dive kick, because you can get shit like this, right? So you see the potential damage, right? Like, I think about that shit a lot. And also the fact that you're building V meter during that combo, so you might easily get an activation route into the V trigger. So you get more V meter during that combo, right? And but when I juke them, I'll oftentimes end up getting something like that, right? So I'll land behind their head, like distance, I'll measure around here. Get something like this. So that's kind of a way I've noticed to get in from the air and discourage the use of that crouch heavy punch from Alex. So again, this is a riskier route. You know, you have to be aware of the spacing. But a lot of times it'll end up paying off. You'll get shit like that, right? So I think those are the main things that I want to touch on as far as how I approach the Alex matchup. Oh, another thing is when you guard break with Alex. Okay, this is a cheeky thing I like to do. This is a cheeky thing I like. I guess the main way I can illustrate it is gonna be like this. So a lot of times, actually, nah, this is probably the better option. So a lot of times when you guard, and I've talked to some friends about this before, but a lot of times, and Alex isn't the only character that you can do this with, right? And again, what I'm gonna preface this with is, you can, if you want to be smart about this thing, scout it out, right? Scout it out, and then see what they like to do after guard break. And if you notice they like to press, because a lot of characters like to press after guard break if they have long range normals. Fang is notorious for this. Any character with long range normals oftentimes will try to press against Ken because they feel, oh, Ken has short stubby normals. But Ken has a secret weapon to blow up stupid shit after a guard break, and this is it. So, and this is the best way I can really illustrate it. Let's go to the corner. Okay, we're gonna. So and I know I'm doing it on his wake up, but the reason I'm doing it on his wake up is just to kind of illustrate how it kind of looks like in a match. So all the time, you'll tech a throw against Alex, and they'll press their stand medium kick because their stand medium kick is annoying as fuck, right? Because they think they can get away with it. So you can blow that shit up with crouch heavy punch. And they do it out their instinct. I'll put it to you like this too. If you like using V skill 1, let me see. You checking that? You checking that? Hit that again. That comboed. I know the timing is like funky, but you get the idea. Or if you want to be cheeky, get Ken's sick new combo. That was kind of close though. You get the idea. You get the idea. So, this is a secret weapon. But just keep in mind, a good Alex player, if you do this one time, a lot of times to a good Alex player, they'll learn their lesson and they won't start pressing buttons after throw tech. And they might actually try to whip punch. They can whip punish this, just be aware. I'm letting you know the risks and also the rewards. So, but oftentimes, I will get away with fucking murder doing this shit because a lot of Alex players just don't expect it. It's unorthodox. Like, who the fuck... What Ken player goes for this after guard break? right? I do. So, so I just want to let y'all know some of my cheeky bullshit that I like to use oftentimes in these matches. And this is, and I'll adapt and use them based off of how I see my opponent is playing. So, I mean, if I notice my opponent is doing a lot of just like typical Alex BS, right? I'll do a lot of stuff that is, quote, riskier because I can get away with it, right? But if they start playing Alex really strong, I'll divert. Like if they're a real patient Alex, I'll divert to my typically my zoning methods: stagger, fireball, pressure, bait outs, stomps, and basically get them frustrated and stay out of their ranges, right? It make them take more risk, right? And then I'll also play more footsie heavy, be thinking about my confirms and all that type of stuff, right? So that's basically more or less how I approach the matchup, right? Alex does have other tools, right? And I could go into, whip punishing the other shits, but the main thing about Alex, I think it's gonna be that, and as far as what you're dealing with, and the other thing I guess is, because I did say this is gonna be a lengthy video, I might as well go into this shit as well. So let's see here. Alex's V trigger. Let me see. I guess we'll end it with this here. So. If you want to know how to beat that, there you go. But oftentimes, like if you're point blank, that'll beat it. That'll beat it. That type of stuff, right? Hold on, let me trust him. This is another reason why I like this feature. You see that bullshit, bro? Okay. I guess we'll end up with that. Just to get it all. Obviously, you can jump. That's really weird. It doesn't usually end up like that. I usually get the cross out. I guess my range. That's odd. I guess it's just a way. But usually you can jump against that as well. That type of stuff. So that's basically what I'm going to tell you about Alex's V trigger right there. Because I know that one can be particularly annoying. So that's pretty much going to be the video for today, guys. If you want me to expound on any other options that Alex has, maybe do a shorter video, feel free to let me know in the comments. I know this is going to be super lengthy, but this is for my Ken players who are looking for different options in this matchup, and maybe just want to get the perspective of somebody who's higher level as far as how they approach it specifically. So that's how I approach it, guys. I like using that V-trigger V-steel combination. Those are the things that I look for. and a lot of times I'll end up taking most matches against Alex players. And until next time, guys, have a good one.